Hi everyone, this is Michelle Patterson with Angel Souls, and this is your weekly Angel Oracle card reading for the week beginning February 16th, 2015. And I'm going to be using the Healing with the Fairies Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue, and then of course pulling a card from the Secret Language of Color Oracle cards by Inna Segal. I just wanted to let you all know that last night I had this amazing reading with KG Styles. She was so generous with her time, and it was absolutely amazing. It was exactly what I needed. So thank you, KG. And if you guys aren't familiar with her work, make sure you check her out. Go to her channel. I think it's actually called KG Styles. And her website too. She has all kinds of services. She did a astrocartography thing for me, and then like a coaching session. And then she also has products. So go check it out. You might really find something that you need there. Okay, so let's get into it. I had a couple of cards already come out, and I feel like I have hair in my face. Here we go, right? All right. Ooh, the first card we have up for the week is Financial Flow. Let me get the whole creative expression, higher consciousness, raising your standards. I like this. This feels like taking, raising your standards, taking what you deserve. I'll go through all the cards individually here in a second. Again, this feels like because you start believing in yourself, you start going after something that you really want because you're in the right vibration, right? Because now you're serving your higher purpose, or at least, trying to take steps to get there. You start opening up to, greater abundance and some. Okay, they're saying there's some things that had been blocked. Well, we had Mercury retrograde, we're still in the shadow period, but things that had, kind of been blocking you are now opening up. You're going to either see a solution or see the beginnings of a solution coming this week. So the number one thing you shouldn't be doing is worrying, okay? Let me just tune into this and see what else is going on. Okay, thank you. They're pointing out, and again, I don't know how well you can see this, but they're pointing out that on the card, this fairy is looking up higher consciousness, which, yes, we have that card here as well. Higher consciousness. So when you think outside of yourself, outside of this third dimensional reality, and you really do start realizing that there's something bigger out there, and that, the day-to-day worries, yes, okay, they're going to be there. They're not going to go away. It's part of your existence right now, but there's more. And you don't need to flow your energy into the negative things. You can start expanding yourself in a very profound way. And when you're focused, again, on that higher consciousness, which is this card right here, you get on the right road. You get on the right road and you're able to hit the gas, right? You're able to hit the gas. You're able to get going on where you now know you want to go. Okay, this is what it feels like, if I can use this analogy. You're getting in the car, it's gassed up, you're a little anxious maybe because you don't know what's going to happen, but you're excited at the same time, and you have your roadmap. Finally, you're not being silly about this, right? So you've thought this through, whatever it is that you've been working towards, and right now you're getting in the car and you're taking the journey. The big thing that they want to tell you is to not start letting yourselves get bored, start getting impatient, thinking that things should be coming to you faster. Everything is happening, we say this all the time, everything is happening exactly as it needs to, and you don't want to miss something along the way. I don't know why this is coming into my head, but back in my early 20s when I was, I thought I could take on the world, I did a road trip by myself across the country. So I drove from, where was I, Ohio to Los Angeles. And boy, was I getting impatient the whole time. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like a 3-day journey. Like, I just want to get there already. But when I finally, in some states, when I relaxed and I just went in and like got some food, and just, when I stopped worrying so much about what time I'm going to get there, I actually opened myself up to some really fun encounters and some interesting experiences. When you get into the Southwest, right? I mean, there are some, I was on Route 66, like I did that whole thing. I mean, you just got to stop and enjoy the journey, because there are beautiful things happening along the way, and all these miracles that you're missing if you're just trying to get to the end, right? So just hold on one second. What are you guys saying? I would articulate this like you trip over your feet. Okay, and I think what they're saying is when you miss the details, you're not properly building yourself up for that reward. And that might end up pushing it out a little bit. Okay, so basically, okay, they're telling me to get onto the second card. I was gonna say, basically this week you just need to relax and get on your path. Creative expression. Okay, so this can mean a lot of different things. It depends on who you are and what your situation is, right? These are general readings, but this story could be finally you believing in yourself and going after that creative project. And this helps you ascend. It helps you get into this higher consciousness. And now the universe is bringing you gifts and rewards for this, okay? This can also mean, maybe you're not an artist or a musician or a writer or whatever. Maybe you're not that person, and your way of serving is to help others, I don't know, with their plumbing, let's say. It's a beautiful thing in this world. I mean, who doesn't need a plumber at some point, right? So even if you're one of those people, the creative expression card means make sure you are doing something. You're here to emulate creators, so make sure you're creating something. You're supposed to be practicing that, yes? And in that very act, not only are you fulfilling part of why you're here, but you're also getting into a meditative state. You are getting closer to your soul by giving that soul a voice, right? And that soul's voice, that expression comes out. And it's just, again, it's an exercise to help you get into that higher consciousness. Yeah? Okay, and they're also saying it's what we said before, it's very meditative. Artistic things get you, so if you're on one side of your brain, it shifts you over to the other side of your brain, kind of thing. But it also, okay, oh, thank you. A couple things are coming in. Don't use it as a distraction. Thank you. Oh boy, I don't know how to explain this. Just make sure you're pure in your intention when you're doing something artistic. Make sure it's something you love, not something that you're like, well, to round out my human profile, I should take on a hobby that's creative, and maybe you don't like it. You're supposed to love this, okay? You're supposed to lose yourself in it a little bit, but be careful, because what they said, like, don't use this as a distraction or a way of escaping. Really, when you tune in to do a creative project or a hobby or what have you, make sure you're tuning into your soul, okay? I hope that makes sense. Anyway, so this week you are raising your standards, yes, and you are believing in yourself, and you know that you can do whatever it is that you're wanting to do. So, again, I'll come back to KG. One of the things she kept saying is, we were talking about some things, and I kept talking about the details, and gosh, it's gonna be so hard to do this, and this, and she said something to the effect of, look at you making all these excuses. So that to me feels like raising your standards. So even rising yourself above all you don't want to ignore the details, but you don't want to get caught up in the heaviness of, oh no, I can't, because I've got this, and this to do. You're raising your standards, you're getting back in tune with you, and you're letting some of those more mundane day-to-day things, you're not pushing them out. You're just going, shh, and bring it down a minute and just let me think, okay? And let me get back in tune with me. They're also saying this creative expression could also have a lot to do with you moving your body creatively. Dance, do whatever. You just want to move the energy and shake out of this stagnant earth plane existence for just a minute, right? And remember not to get so caught up on it, because there's so much more out there than what you're seeing or what you're potentially allowing yourself to see right now. Okay, so let's get on to the color cards. Let's see what is coming up. I'm sorry, I'm doing this for a little while. I'm being guided too. There it is. Okay, thank you. Yellow. Did we have this before? Did we have this last week? Well, okay, we're getting a second time around with this. The number is 22, and it says purify your body. Yeah, I think that goes hand in hand with this. I think that's going to be sort of a step that you're going to have to take in this week in order to fully bring in your pure potential. All right, so detoxify emotions. Again, this was something that KG and I were talking about last night, detoxifying any kind of like life negativity that starts to kind of ingrain in you. Do what you can this week to get centered, let that go, clear that away. You don't want to miss the things that the universe has for you, and you want to be a part of this. And that's what they're saying. You are an integral part of this universe. So shake off the I don't mean to diminish the problems you might have or something like that, but it doesn't need to run your life. It doesn't, one annoying moment, it doesn't have to dictate your entire day, kind of thing. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. Okay, they're saying mentally you're going after what you want. So suddenly things that felt out of reach are starting to come into focus, and things that you had perhaps even given up on are now floating back in front of you, and you're going, oh, this is back again. Well, okay, what am I supposed to be doing with this? Okay, it's that kind of thing. So roll with it. And certainly, you don't want to, I guess I've already said that. Don't go down the hard road when a lighter road that's going to give you all the same lessons, and the angels are sort of going, come on, this is going to be a nicer trip. Why don't you come on over here? Don't torture yourself with that. You're going to get to the same destination, but this is a nicer road. Does that make sense? Okay, so I feel like that's kind of everything that's coming through. So there's that. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. And by the way, I think as far as moving for me, I am narrowing it down to like Montana and Colorado. So if you have ideas or you live there, or, little tips, things that I should be aware of, I would love to hear it. All right, guys, take care.